Previously on Reset for Autumn 2022.
It's time to get our lives together.
So my system goes as such. We just earlier filled out these goals, so I want to transfer a couple to my goals for September because honestly, it's 2022. Who's not having a mental breakdown? Today it is time for episode 2, an incredibly satisfying, complete digital declutter of my iPhone. Also throughout this video, I wanted to give you guys a couple tips on how to achieve digital minimalism because that's the best way to keep my phone a happy place and not a place of stress. And just a disclaimer, this is only an iPhone clear out, but if you want a part 2 where I clear out my computer, definitely ask for it in the comments below and I will make a part 2. Okay, the first thing I want to do is go into settings and check my storage real quick. I will say that I did clear out a lot of files a couple weeks ago just in preparation for school to begin, but this is a little different because I'm going to be going a little bit more in depth. So speaking of clearing out, I first want to go through my apps and delete everything that, as Marie Kondo would say, does not spark joy in me anymore. Basically any apps I don't use, I just kind of want to delete them. So let's go through that right now. I will say a lot of my apps are already offloaded, so I don't really use them anyway, but the point is that they do take up a lot of visual cluttered space. So just going through and deleting the ones that I don't use will help me achieve digital minimalism. I really should just delete TikTok completely. I don't like the app and I just don't want it on my phone. Google Drive, I don't use at all. And those I probably should all keep. CapCut, I never use. Okay, so while I very boringly go through and clear out literally every app in my entire phone, I want to talk for a little bit about digital minimalism. I feel like the simpler your phone is, because we're constantly on our phone, the simpler our mind is going to be. And personally, as someone who struggles with anxiety, I feel like I want my digital life to be as minimal and clean as possible. I recently heard in the past couple months people talking about a second brain, which is basically another word for taking things out of your brain and storing them somewhere else. So this can be a journal, this can be digitally. But I think it's a great idea because, like I mentioned earlier, my brain is always overwhelmed, and so by keeping things in a separate place that's clean and organized, it helps keep myself less stressed. This is one of the main reasons why I'm wanting to declutter my phone, because I feel like as a digital place that holds a lot of information to take out of my brain, if I can make it as organized and simple and compartmentalized as possible, it can really spark as much motivation and productivity as can be sparked. Okay, the next thing I want to do is go through and clear all of my drafts. Now, since I deleted TikTok, I don't really have any other apps that have drafts except for Instagram. So if you go to my Reels drafts. Okay, I have 2 drafts in here that I was actually thinking about posting pretty soon, so I think I'm gonna leave these right now. My other account, Mingo Bujo, which I have all my bullet journaling posts at, a couple drafts in here that I think I can delete. I'm gonna delete this one because I never actually finished that. This is just a dump, so delete that. Okay, so now that should save a little bit of storage. The other 2 in there I am in the middle of making rules for that eventually are probably going to be posted, so I'll leave those 2 there. Now, my personal main account is the Mingo Studio, so I'm just going to leave Mingo Bujo just like alone for right now, but I do want to go through and clear out my following because I think an important thing about decluttering is decluttering your mind, and personally, if I'm following people that you just feel negative emotions to, why are you following them? So I'm just going to go through my follower account right now, really consider who I want to follow, who I don't want to follow, and that way my feed is a little more curated whenever I'm actually on the app. It's funny because half these people I don't even know, and then I go look at them and then I'm like, oh duh, that's who it is. I quickly mentioned this, but I do want to elaborate on it just a smidge. By keeping my social media clean, so I only follow people who really make me feel happy, who inspire me, and who I don't compare myself to, it really makes Instagram a much more positive place for me. I have gotten a lot less motivation to post on Instagram recently, partially because of just the algorithm and the type of content it's forcing me to make in order to get actual engagement back, but also simply because I feel like I follow just a lot of people that I just don't want to see. And although scrolling through Reels sometimes is really fun to see like random videos that make you chuckle, in all honesty, the home feed, I'm scrolling, sometimes I'm like, who is she? And I'm like, oh, I love her, but I wish I could have her life. And that's just not a good mindset to really get into. So really, while going through this and unfollowing people, it's less that I don't like their content. I'm more just like, if you don't inspire me and make me happy by looking at your pictures, then I just don't want to have to worry about it. Like, don't take any offense, but I'm just doing what's best for me. Oh my gosh, this looks delicious. Dairy-free and vegan baking. I'm not vegan, but I should be dairy-free. Okay, I think that's pretty good for now, so I'm just going to clear out of that. The last thing I want to do is go into Pinterest real quick. Pinterest is the OG of all apps, but I just wanted to kind of go over a couple of my boards. I think all of them I use pretty often. Well, this one's stupid. They're all just like meaningful quotes that I used to put on my home feed, so I'm just gonna just delete this board. Bye. It was nice. It was nice. Academia, cute, home decor, visual inspiration, and art inspiration are obviously there. You can follow me on Pinterest. My is the Mingo Studio as everything, but my books pins, oh, I have literally over 1,000 pins in that one section. And I have my vision board, my fashion. Also, I love this board so much. And these two on the top right are my widget. If you look here on my home screen, I have these two Pinterest widgets in the top left and bottom right corners. And so that's where I get the boards from because I cycle through different pins every hour, I believe. Okay, now let's move on to a little bit more of the fun stuff. Personally, I feel like clearing anything out of your phone is just super satisfying because you're basically just like getting rid of everything. But these next couple steps are things I've been meaning to do for a while because they're just so busy and annoyingly so. Okay, so I'm gonna go through my photos right now. Basically, if you look, other than the screen recording at the bottom, I just have a lot of random photos, but I just posted today and that's why all these pictures are here. So I'm just gonna go through and delete those. A couple of these are just gonna be like old thumbnails that I have saved in my camera roll. I posted that reel already. That reel, that YouTube video I posted. One thing about me is I have the most curated camera roll ever. Literally, I go through and delete every duplicate, almost every screenshot, and I want to make sure that my camera roll is intentional just to save space. But I do understand the importance of like keeping memories, so I do try to keep photos that I will look back on later in the future and laugh at. Next, I just want to go through and delete these. All the albums that they create is just so annoying. Pinterest by, Instagram by, blackmail I'll keep, and that's Mingle Studio and blackmail. So those two are the important ones, and I only have 4. And then I'm just gonna go through and clear my recently deleted because obviously if you need to use it for something and you have the storage capacity to do so, then of course you want to use it. Personally, I'm trying to keep my storage as clear as possible, so I just want to go through and delete all of that. On the topic of photos, let's pop into Lightroom. I use Lightroom to edit all of my photos usually just because it has a lot more options than just iPhotos. I love using curves, and that's a free option on Lightroom. I just love using this app for this because there's just so many specific features. However, as you can tell, this picture I took literally in June and it's September. So I'm just gonna go through and clear basically everything out because if it's already been edited and in my camera roll, then why do I need it in a separate camera roll? It's just taking too much storage up, you know what I mean? And quickly delete 68 photos. Oh, that's so satisfying. Okay, next let's pop into notes. That's a lot. So I'm just gonna go through and delete the ones that I don't need. Like I don't need this random picture of the circle of fifths anymore. I'm not an orchestra anymore. Lone Star will keep. I don't even use Snapseed anymore. YouTube growth. I have all of this in Notion. So bye. Reps, I'll keep. Gift ideas, I definitely need to keep. New budget techness. I feel like I can combine that all into one. I don't know what the heck that is. Bye. My TBR. I really don't need this because all of my TBR should be on Goodreads, you know? Leaning towards no. So I'm gonna delete it. Oof, that one hurt a little bit. Because I was working on that TBR list for so long, but it's in a completely other app. Like who needs it? Okay, so notes is clear. Let's next pop into files. I have so many random files and downloads that I just want to get rid of as soon as possible. Most of them are already offloaded, which is nice, which means I don't think they're taking up too much storage, but I still don't necessarily need them. You're like, what is this random image of books? Aceable by Heartstopper by, I don't want this frickin' science project by. As I'm clearing up my files, I will say that I do have a lot more files on my desktop than I do on my phone. I usually do all of my editing and stuff on my desktop, which is why most of my information is over there, and that's also where I keep a hard drive, etc. If you want a part 2 where I declutter my computer, I can definitely do that for you guys, but that's kind of why this particular part of the video is rather easy because I really did not have that many files in my phone. However, I would definitely recommend for any of you guys who have very cluttered files to keep things in specific folders like school, work, personal, and then keep those particular folders matching and cohesive between every different app. That can make everything just so much more accessible in your laptop. The simpler and more compartmentalized everything is, the better your productivity system is going to be. Oh my gosh, look, this was back whenever I had literally 900 subscribers. Look how cute. Aww. I'm keeping that. That's so cute. Half of this video is just gonna be like literally me sitting, doing essentially nothing, waiting for things to load on my phone. Okay, I literally have 8 files. That's pretty good if you ask me. Let's delete all the recently deleted, and there, files are clear. The last thing I want to do is playlists because like what point is it of having Spotify if you don't have curated playlists for every emotion ever? What things do I want to keep? What things do I not? I can delete this playlist. I'm not having a party anytime soon. Okay, now I'm gonna open a new playlist. So let's put Oxytocin, Billy, Bossa Nova, Cinema. These are all like the confidence boosting songs, you know what I mean? Oh, Black Swan, Interlude, Shadow, 7 Cents, absolutely. One thing about me is my music taste does not change very much much at all. Like, I like a song and I stay liking that song. I like an artist and I'll like them for actual months straight. I just want to mention real quick that I titled this playlist Confidence because, like I said, it's for shutting down high school hallways with an RBF, which I definitely have, but honestly, it's a lot of work to do that, okay? So this playlist is a necessity. It looks good to me. I deeply apologize if you can hear the thunder outside because it is bothering me too, but it's time to move on to the last couple steps of this digital declutter, and this is probably the most exciting part that I've been looking forward to. Okay, so I want to open this new app that I just got like literally 10 seconds ago called Unroll Me. I just logged in with one of my literally 4 emails, and it says that I have 105 new subscriptions. The reason I'm using this one is because this is the email that is subscribed to all of the college people. So anytime a college wants to reach out to me, because I'm obviously a senior in high school, they're all reaching out to me, they go to this email. So I'm gonna go through, quickly unsubscribe to as many things as I can to make sure my inbox is very clear. Now, I get the concept of having a subscription box full of universities who want to contact you. However, my problem is that I just get literally at least 30 a day, and kills the idea of having colleges be able to reach out to you through your inbox. I was joking quite a bit in this part of the video about deleting all of the colleges that are trying to access me, but truly I am putting quite a bit of stress on college applications. But I would say if you do anything, do not subscribe to the student search thing on College Board, because this is what happens when you do, going and unsubscribing from literally Millsaps College. Like, what the heck is that? Sometimes there are like multiple emails from the same college emailing me, and I'm like, why are you both here? I'm not interested in joining the core. Thank you though. And with that, all of my emails for this particular email is done. Cleared out, complete. The last thing I want to do in this video is go back into settings, and let's scroll down to notifications. For most things, my notifications are already off because I like my notifications to be literally as clear as possible. But I just want to go through real quick and tweak a couple of things. I really don't need Clue notifications. We'll keep FaceTime. I gotta keep Instagram, only for the DMs though. I went into Instagram specifically and turned off all notifications except for DMs. So Outlook, something tells me you only need Notification Center, and everything else should be off. Truly, I cannot recommend doing a digital declutter enough. I feel like just going through this process physically lifts a weight off of my shoulders. And if I'm really being honest, any like planning or organization cleaning process makes you feel so nice and satisfied inside. So if you are like me, I definitely recommend that you go and watch this video on the screen right here. In this video, I planned out the entirety of autumn in my bullet journal and showed you guys a new process for planning out my weeks. So subscribe before leaving, have a great day, and I will catch you over in that video. Toodles!